Hi everyone, welcome to Elise Cake Crafts. My name's Elise, and as the name suggests, I do a range of crafts on this channel. I've been doing diamond painting for the last 2.5 years, really into this craft in particular. So that's what I'll be doing today. And we're going to do what's known as a Wip and Chat. Wip stands for work in progress, and we're going to chat for about an hour. So before we start, I've got my cup of tea here in my little ghost cup, little chamomile tea. It's steaming hot. So grab yourself a cuppa. We'll have a chat. Today what I'm working on is a canvas from Diamond Art Club. It's called Manny, God of the Moon, and this is the artist name is Chrisabug. I will put the image, the full image up on the screen so you can see. I'm completing this canvas for a Gods and Goddesses event, so I started this one on the 30th of May and I hope to have it finished by the 31st of July. But I'm nearly halfway through it, so I think I'm going to get it done this month, and I might pick a second canvas for Gods and Goddesses. I would love to kit up Mothman straight away, so if you haven't checked it out, I've got a Mothman unboxing that I uploaded earlier in the week. I would like to kit him up. I don't know how he would fit into Gods and Goddesses. If anyone's got any ideas, please feel free to put the information down in the comments section. I would be grateful for that. But yeah, the event's hosted by House of Miscellanea on YouTube. We're into the second week this week, and I'll talk a little bit more about the event, but first I'm going to go into what I'm using, so my tools. So if you've got any questions about that, hopefully I answer them in the next section. So as you can see, I'm actually halfway through this kit. I already started filming my Wip and Chat, but I just had a range of disasters, spilt drills in the wrong place, and I kept losing my train of thought. So I'm going to refilm this and hopefully be a little bit more succinct, and have a little bit fewer is that how you say it? I don't know, have fewer accidents anyway, with my drills. So I've got a range of lovely accessories today to work on this kit. Pissed Off Boring Dreamer Designs. These come free in the kit. They're tweezers, the pointed tip murder tweezers. A bit boring, but very functional. I've got this pen from Diamond Pen Pal over on Etsy. It's one of those roll stop pens, so it's got the flat edge here to stop your pen rolling off the table, and it glows in the dark, which is really cool. Not that you'll be diamond painting in the dark, so that's the other thing. Just excuse that, I'm using the Elizabeth Ward style trays. In my single placer, I've got hard and sticky wax from the Creativity Squirrel over on Etsy. I'm going to refill my pen before I start. I'll just dip it in here. And this is the Diamond Art Club single placer, Diamond Art Club 8 placer that I'm using. In my 8 placer, I'm using the Creativity Squirrel Putty. It is Classic Ken scent. As I explained previously when I was working on this canvas, I just think that Manny would smell really quite good, and that scent smells like men's aftershave. It is so smelly and nice, and because we're nearly up to his armpit as well, I thought, well, it's even more fitting. We're not quite up, we're not doing his armpit today, we're doing his bicep, but you know, he's got his arms up, so he's, you know, yeah. This tray here, I might swap this out halfway because it's quite dark in colour. It doesn't show up dark on the screen, but it's dark purple. I don't know if you can see, yeah, just how dark it is, and it's quite matchy with some of my drills. So this is a Fantasy Sparkles tray. They were over on Etsy. They were a Queensland company, 3D printing company. I think they have closed shop. I'm pretty confident they have. It might be worth checking back on Etsy to see if they reopen in the future, because I have quite a few of their trays and I really enjoyed their products and they were really unique. I heard you could get the what's it called, I don't know what it's called, like the patterns or whatever. It's not patterns, I don't know what it's called for 3D printing, but you can get the files or whatever to 3D print their stuff. They've uploaded them to wherever you upload those things, and so if you've got a 3D printer, maybe you could find that and print your own. And I've got this cover minder here from Lexi Lou's. Earlier this week I did an unboxing of Lexi Lou's cover minders. I received, I think, 6 or 7. Half of the order was for my cousin, not for me, but I've got a couple of others here that I'm not using today. I've got this cute little 3D puppy. And this little 3D dragon. I'm keeping them stuck to my tripod here because they're cute. And I made this during the week. So yeah, it's now my trash pot. I think I was thinking of hot gluing some magnets on it during the Wip and Chat today for something a little bit different, but given I've been so accident prone all day, I'm going to avoid using hot glue on camera. So yeah, I'm going to keep that there because I think that's cool and it's the perfect size. So if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining me. If you're coming back, welcome back. It's good to see you. How's your week been? Mine's been pretty uneventful. Yeah, I haven't done a lot. I've been a bit of a homebody this week. Which is not a bad thing. It's a nice change from working nearly every day of my life. To not having to really leave my home. I still have to do, stuff with the kids and pick up, drop off from school, all of that stuff. But I particularly pick up from school, I really enjoy. I like picking Frank up, and because he's in grade 2 now, and you never know what you're gonna get when you pick him up. How was his day? What happened in his day? And I just find it amusing. Sometimes he had a really good day, and the reasons for that is just a bit you're just sometimes confusing, and it's the same with when he has a bad day. And just hearing about the different types of conflicts he's having with his friends and with other students, and how he's navigating them. And yeah, it's just I don't remember that being that age and how that sort of played out with my friends. I don't have there's some things that I remember from when I was younger really vividly, but around about that age I don't really recall much at all. I have been friends with the same people since younger than Frank's age. So maybe we could chat and reminisce, but yeah, it's just, I guess, one of those things as you get older, those sorts of things sort of fade out of your memory. During the week I did hear from my good friend Anthea. So I met her when I was in grade prep. I'm pretty sure it was my first day of school. We were sitting next to each other and we became friends pretty much straight away. I heard from her during the week. She has had a period of illness and is now feeling a lot better, and she sounded like she was really on the mend, which is fantastic to hear. I won't go into details or anything, but we planned to go on a camping trip, not next week but the week after, but I realised that I actually had other plans that week to meet up with my old co-workers for dinner, and I really want to know what's going on. I want to know the gossip at my old workplace. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So I won't be able to go camping, but the thought, like, that was one of those conversations. So we spoke on the phone for about 2 hours and just was really, you know, feeling really positive and everything while I was on the phone. And then after I made the plans, and I'm always guilty of doing this, I was just like, oh no, I don't have the energy to do that. That's just too much. And I know that so YouTube's hearing it first, and I'm going to talk about taking a rain check, because I at this point of time in my life, I don't have the energy to go camping unless like someone is preparing everything for me and I just show up. I'm just still too tired from that. So if you're joining me for the first time, you won't know, but on the 5th of May I finished up at my old job, and I do have another job, but it's casual, and I haven't heard from them for any shifts, so I'm essentially not working. I was told it could be 6 months before I'm matched with a client. But before I handed in notice, I thought I had been matched with a client, so, or at least not hadn't been matched, but you know, I'd go through that process. And I haven't heard back, so I'm not too worried about that really. I'm grateful to have the break and to rest, because I haven't had a break really ever in my life. I have either been studying full time, been working full time, and since, you know, I was 14, and most of the time I've done more than one, so I've either been studying full time and working full time and being a mum, or working 2 full-time jobs at once. So I'm grateful to have a bit of a break, but I don't really know what to do with myself now that I'm not working, and it's really hard to relax without the anxiety creeping in, even though anxiety was a big reason I needed to make these changes in my life. So I'm just trying to be kind to myself. I'm trying not to stagnate though, and not let it get to a point where, you know, any sort of depression or anything creeps in. I have had days where I've been feeling quite low in mood, but I have been sick as well, and I hate being sick in bed. I get bored laying there, even though I've got to rest. So that's not good for my mental health. So I'm just trying to find that balance between doing things I love and resting and being somewhat productive too. And I know rest is productive, but I don't feel that that's something I can do 24 hours a day. For the rest of my life, I've got to have some sort of focus and some sort of direction. During the week, I've heard from the uni about orientation, that there's some new orientation sort of like activity things up on I forget what the what's it called, Blackboard or whatever. It's not Blackboard anymore, is it? Is it still Blackboard? I don't know, whatever they call it, their system. So I've got that to do. I'm not going to do that today. I'll do, because I'm not going to have much time after I film this today to do that, but or even this weekend. I've got a bit of a full weekend planned. So I will do that at some point next week. I've still got a bit of life admin that I need to do. Like renew my registration, which is not as easy as it appears because the Vic Roads website is down, and it would be good to BPay that, but they haven't sent me any BPay information. I don't even know how much I have to pay for it or when it's due. They just sent me the notification by email and no further information. So I'm pretty sure, according to my license, it's not due until next month, but I want to get on top of that. During the week, I've been organising other ways. So this next month is a birthday month for people in my family. So today it's Frank's dad's birthday. So I was getting organised, getting his presents and stuff ready, and then well, he told me what he wanted. He just wanted a bottle of tequila. I don't drink tequila, so it was a little bit stressful making sure that I picked the right thing. But I gave him his present this morning, and he seemed pretty happy with that. We also got him a bag of limes to have with that, because I know he makes some, what's that drink? A margarita? He likes margarita with limes and salt. So I got him some lime so he could have his margarita. And so that was an easy gift, really. It didn't take much planning. But Frank's gift, on the other hand, he is obsessed with sharks, right? So I got him a bracelet. He saw an ad for it a little while ago, and he was like, oh my god, I love this so much. But it is a bracelet that tracks sharks. So so basically you get like a code for an app, and you get allocated like a shark that you can watch. You can check on the app where it is in the world, what it's up to, and yeah, it's like a shark tracker thing. But yeah, you get a little bracelet with it. So I didn't, because it was coming from, I think it comes from America or England or something, so it was coming from overseas anyway. I wasn't sure how long it would take to get here, and his birthday's next month, so I really wanted to make sure we had that, so I ordered that. And then I just ordered like a few bits and pieces, just like 3D printed junk. I ordered him a t-shirt that had all different sharks on there, like with the names of the sharks, and some shark gibbets. Yes, I think he will be very happy with his presents, but I just needed to make sure that I got in early to make sure that they were here in time, because it could take 3 or so weeks to get here. So I've been pretty busy with that. I've been busy with other crafts. Oh, okay, losing my tray here. Yeah, I've been busy with other crafts, not so much diamond painting this last week. So I want to start up my own small shop, and I have been testing my own products for quite some time. I'm really happy with how it's all going for my own personal use, and I'd like to start selling them so I can make back some money from what I've bought. All of the craft stuff I've bought. So when I'm ready, I will give you guys the information for that. But it's just the main thing that I want to sell is not ready yet, and I'm waiting on more orders for more stuff, basically, to make things. I've got some other ideas as well, of other stuff that I can do, but yeah, that will need to go through a testing process. So yeah, just watch this space, I suppose. Maybe everything will be crap and nothing will happen. Maybe there'll be nothing to watch, but we'll just see. So I've been spending a lot of time doing other crafts, which has been nice. You know, it's diamond painting means a lot of time sitting down on your bum, and as you get older, it's not always good for your back, so it's good to get up and move around and do other stuff every now and then as well. So I've been feeling, I think during the weeks, it's been 5 weeks since I finished up at work, and I haven't had a shift on my new job. And I'm, as I said, I'm trying to be grateful for the time that I have to work on myself, to rest, to recuperate, all of that. But it's a big adjustment. It's been hard. I feel like I haven't been productive, or I feel like, you know, not having the money coming in, and on one hand, it's like, how do I explain this? I know rationally, I know that I don't need it to come in right now, but because everything in life is unforeseeable, but it feels even more, everything feels up in the air at the moment. It's a big time of change for me, or progressing through stages. And on one hand, I don't feel quite ready to go back to work, but then on the other hand, I'm worried that I'm going to get into some sort of slump, and I will get to a point where I won't be able to return, and I don't want that to happen either. So I have been looking for other jobs, and I found a couple of things that are just a couple of days a week, which I think I'll apply for. I've got my resume happening. It's not quite ready to send off, but I will be planning to do that next week, do some life admin. I'm going to do that rego thing. Still, I haven't done it, and yeah, so there's a few things that I've got to do next week for that. But this weekend I've got quite a bit on. Sorry, I'm going to move my table just a little bit. That's better. I've got quite a bit on this weekend, so I'm just going to enjoy the weekend. Tonight I'm going out to the city for a gig. I'm going to go see Chat Pile. They're from Oklahoma. They're like a rock sludge, and like metal kind of. I would say they're more rock than metal. Yeah, they're just the genre for them, because they do sound quite unique. So, and their genre, there's a bit of controversy about that, because yeah, apparently, like, while they're described as metal, like metal purists or whatever, just disagree. Whatever, they sound good to me, so I'm gonna go see them. They're playing at Max Watts tonight, and then so Frank has his basketball training that runs until 5, and then his dad will take him there, so I won't be there for that. I will use that time to get ready to go out, and then I've got to get the dogs ready and everything like that, because Frank and the dogs are heading to his grandma's house for the night, and then we'll be back early in the morning for basketball. Not early, but yeah, I think he plays around about 12 o'clock or 12:30 or something tomorrow. So we'll be back in time for that, to watch, well, for him to play basketball. So that will be cool. And then tomorrow night, I don't know what the weather's going to be like, but we're hoping to have pizzas on the barbecue. So like wood fire pizzas that we just make on the weather barbecue on a pizza stone, and have a bonfire in the backyard. But we'll see. That's very dependent on the weather. The weather here has been a bit weird. So today it's a beautiful day. It's still very cold, but it's sunny. But yeah, it's been quite windy and overcast and rainy, and it's been all over the shop really, as far as weather's concerned. The only thing that's been consistent has been the cold nights. It's been good weather for mushrooms, and Frank and I have been out during the week to go mushroom hunting. I might show you some photos of the mushrooms that I found while we went mushroom hunting. I am not confident with what is edible and what's not edible. I would love to do one of those foraging classes and become knowledgeable, but to me everything's poison basically, but at this point in time. But I love mushrooms. I think they're so cool. They look so cool. I love walking around and spotting them and taking photos of them. There's just something really fascinating about mushrooms, and that's something now that I'm still feeling quite physically exhausted, but I feel that I'm starting to get my mental clarity back, and that's something maybe that I will look into, is learning more about mushrooms, because why not? I'm just gonna move. Oh, excuse me. I have a right here. I've got one of these on my table, and it was just blocking off all of my space and everything. It was just hanging down and being a bit annoying to me. So that's sort of been my week. It's just been that. I've been feeling a bit drained during the week, really. I think I've spoken about this before on my channel. It's just like, one thing I'm noticing is Facebook is really draining me, and I'm in two minds. I've been thinking about just pausing my Facebook and having a break, but then it's also my main source of, like, or maybe my second main source of diamond painting socialization, really. I really like the Australia DAC fans diamond painting group. That's like my favorite group ever. And it's really the way that I stay up to date with restocks and new releases and those sorts of things. But there's other ways to get that information. I don't know if anyone has had this issue lately, or if it's just me having more time to look on my phone. But I'm finding that Facebook in particular is really draining, because every time you open it up, yeah, sorry, I just got interrupted for a second. Yeah, so every time you open up Facebook, there's something just either controversial, something that can give you vicarious trauma, something shocking, something, yeah, negative, or political. And I've spent my working life dealing with the worst that life has to offer, really. And I want to break from that, because I'm going back to uni to study social work, and I will be put back into that. Well, hopefully I get a job in the field and I'll be put back into that sooner rather than later. So that's not something I want. I've had enough of that in my life. And then before I worked in that sector, I was a funeral director, and I did that for 10 years. So, you know, there's nothing more confronting in life than death, really, is there? Oh, well, there probably, actually, you know what? I think there probably is. But I just, you know, it's not just the physical rest of not physically being somewhere, you know, at a workplace or whatever. It's really the mental rest. And that's really what I'm sort of keeping in mind in terms of when I'm looking for work as well. So yeah, I just have to be quite selective with what I apply for. In terms of what I've been watching, well, I haven't really been watching much. I finished Half Man. I mentioned that on last week's Wip and Chat. I finished that, and I haven't picked up with another show. I watched half of a movie yesterday. I can't remember what it was called. It was like a foreign movie about a Dutch priest that goes to a remote part of Iceland for some sort of priesty work in the oldie times. Yeah, and it's just, it is, so far it's a lot of it's showing a lot of the Icelandic landscapes, and Iceland is a place that I really, really have wanted to visit pretty much since a child. It just looks it looks like a different planet. It looks so different from here and anything that I've ever seen, and I just feel like the experience would be surreal, and I just really want to go there. So it was nice to watch that, but then I got interrupted, and then I didn't go back to the movie after that. But I will watch the rest of it, because it wasn't bad. It was quite slow. To be honest with you, not much had happened by the time I had to turn it off. but I've got a few things on my list of things to watch. So what I might do is I use the Just Watch app, and I've been creating this watch list for a long time, and my watch list nearly got down to nothing, except for movies that I just couldn't find, basically. But I've been adding to it again recently, and the stuff that is available to watch now that I can watch is Hannibal. So I haven't seen any of Hannibal. I keep hearing it's quite good, and that, you know, by people that have seen it, that know me, seem to think that I would like it. Oh, there's a bit of putty on the back of that. Let me get that off. So that's probably going to be the first thing that I watch. And then there's also one thing that I sort of saved for myself was Game of Thrones. I've watched maybe 10 minutes, the first episode of that, and that's it. And then I thought, no, I want to binge this. I want to have the time to do that. So I haven't watched any of that whatsoever. So I will maybe start that. I'm just going to do one at a time. I think I'll do Hannibal first, and then maybe Game of Thrones. And then I heard about this like other show. There's True Detective as well. I've seen the first season of that, and I really like that. I think that one was with Matthew McConaughey, but then I think it changes season to season. I don't know if every season's different or whatever, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed that, and I don't know why I haven't gone back and watched the other seasons, but I think there's 5 seasons of that, so I've got 4 to watch. And then during the week I heard about this other show called Tiptoe. I think it's called Tiptoe. It's a British show. It was made, as far as I recall, it was made by the guy that did Queer as Folk, which I didn't watch, but I've heard is quite good too. And that it's, yeah, I've heard it's just really good. It just seemed like it might be something I like. That's on Foxtel from what I can see. I don't have that, but I think my parents have that, so I'll see if I can log in on their account. Or my brother, I'm pretty sure, would have an account. I'll just see if I can steal his login for that. Not steal it, I'll ask for it, because he uses my logins for things, so he owes me. And what's that? But if you've seen any of those, please no spoilers, but I'd love to hear if you recommend them, if you don't recommend them. And I know that this is like, I've just come from saying, oh, I need less negativity in my life, I need less confronting stuff. That doesn't count for fictional stuff. Like, I can, well, okay, it depends. So there's been some movies that I've seen that I would never watch again for that reason. Just because I thought that the really traumatizing bits, to explain it, is, violence. The really violent, horrible bits were gratuitous. That the first one being Irreversible, I will never watch that again. And the second being The House That Jack Built, won't watch that again. And The Nightingale, I had to close my eyes. I might watch that movie again, but there will be a part that I will skip over. But other than that, I really liked that movie. And I recommend it, but you just, you know, be careful. Maybe look up spoilers. I won't give you the spoiler, but yeah, maybe look up the spoiler for that. Yeah, so the rest of the weekend, I didn't finish saying what I was going to say for that. On Sunday, there will be the week 2 live for the Gods and Goddesses event on House of Miscellanea. That starts 10:30 a.m. Melbourne time, so I'll be doing that on Sunday. I always look forward to doing the weekend lives. It's basically because I have trouble socializing. It's my form of socialization during the week. It's something that I always look forward to. It's just really low effort on my behalf. And because I've been doing it a couple of years now, I'm getting to know the people in the chat and things like that. So that's a lot of fun. There's a lot of new people lately, but they all seem really lovely, and it's been nice to get to know them too. Yeah, so I'll do that on Sunday, and then probably join in the other one on Wednesday, same time on Wednesday, if I can. And then Friday next week I'm getting a new tattoo. I've had that booked in since last year, but I had to reschedule in January because I was sick. And then my tattoo artist got sick and needed surgery, so we rescheduled again. And then she needed revision surgery, or not revision, but she needed a follow-up surgery, which, you know, with the first surgery, she said that she probably would need more than one surgery, but she wasn't sure until she had the first one what would happen with the second one. So then she had that, so then we rescheduled again. And now it's all good. And, well, I think so. I'll catch up with her on Friday and find out exactly what happened. If she wants to talk about it, if she's not sick of talking about it already with everyone. But it will be good to see her and get something done. I'm just a bit nervous because that is, to me, like, the reason why I don't have more tattoos than I do is because I have trouble spending that much money on myself, and especially now I'm not working. It's you know, it just seems like a little bit of a frivolous expense, but I've had it booked in for a long time, so I'm going to go through with it. And I'm getting a skull with its brain coming out, and like brain goo, brain splatter, what is it, sludge, whatever, brain goo coming out, and its eyeballs popping out. So I've just like been, I've just been saying I don't like violent things. Anyway, I just thought it would look cool. I don't know, I was going to get it on my arm to fill in a bit on my upper arm, but I don't know if I will get it there. I'm thinking I'm going to change it to my leg. I just feel quite unbalanced. I've got more tattoos on my legs, I think, but I don't know. I just feel like at the moment I've got big tattoos on my arms. Like, I've nearly got half sleeves at this point. But my legs look very bare. I could maybe get it next to the Mothman, I don't know. I might show you guys next week. Wait, okay, so I've just realized my video next week, I will have to film that a bit later. I think it should still be okay. I don't think my appointment will interfere too much with my Wip and Chat. It's just, if I do get the tattoo on my arm, and this is like good advice for you all, if you get a tattoo on your diamond painting arm, maybe give diamond painting a rest, you know, for at least 1 or 2 days, because I didn't do that. And I think I was actually working on an event canvas last time, and that's why I was pushing myself, or I was pushing myself to finish so I could start my event canvas or something like that. And my arm blew up like a balloon because I didn't rest it. So yeah, later that day and the next day I diamond painted for like a solid 5 hours or something per day. That was very silly. Don't repeat my mistakes. It was very painful, and then I just had to sort of rest my arm above my head to get the swelling to go down. So that's my week basically coming up, and yeah, maybe I will have finished my new craft journey, and I'll have some things to show you, and I have my shop arc and everything like that. But I'm still trying to work out, do I go with Facebook or do I go with Etsy? I know Etsy has like a lot of fees, but it seems like the payment would be just easier. And admin is, I used to be good at admin, but I just don't have the patience for it anymore. So maybe it will be worth the peace of mind just to go with Etsy and just to upload things. I'm not sure. Oh, and the other thing that I've got to do next week is I've got to take my dog. So my son wants to take the dog for show and tell, and I've arranged it with his teacher. So I might do that on Tuesday next week. I've already filmed an unboxing video for next week and for the week after. So I've got unboxing videos coming up. But in terms of what I've been buying, I'm good. This week I haven't bought any diamond paintings. Okay, maybe not good. I've bought other stuff. I bought other craft stuff. So I've bought no diamond painting stuff. And so far, I haven't checked the new releases that have come out this morning or in the last 24 hours, but nothing appeals to me so far. I think there was a Mrs. Butter D that was shown yesterday. I like Mrs. Butter D, but I mean, I like working on her kits. But the art style, not all of them is my cup of tea. Having said that, Witch's Bedroom was probably my favourite diamond painting of all time to do, because I got that simply for that little skull. But it was so much fun. I really enjoyed the colours. I didn't think I would enjoy the colours. I thought it would be too much pink. But I really enjoyed it. And there was a lot of oranges, like it doesn't sort of show up, but there were a lot of corals, orange, creams, things like that in the image as well, when the rendering's all broken up. Yeah, none of my restock kits have come in for a long time. Well, actually I lie, so I missed out on Neko Cafe on last week's restock, so I was a bit disappointed with that, because if I got the chance I would have used my points for that one. But yeah, none of my must-have diamond paintings have sort of come in stock the last couple of weeks, so I just haven't been buying. And but I've been buying in other crafts, so maybe next week, I don't know, the Wip and Chat, I might do another craft. I don't know, probably not, because I've got a little workspace area out in the garage and it's very messy, and I would have to show that, and I don't think I'm ready to show that quite yet. Oh, I always miss one. When I'm closing up my tray, I'm always finding one I miss. Like, I've got the 7 there, I've got the little bacon there. Is that what you guys call it? The 2 swirly lines? Oh no, I think it looks like bacon, so I call it bacon. Got a bow tie there. But I haven't started the bow tie, but yeah, I've missed those ones and I've already done those colours. But that's just about it for this week, guys. Like, there really wasn't a whole lot that was happening. I'll probably have more to update you on next week, because I'll actually be going out. I'll be leaving the house today. And I would have done a few things. But yeah, it was lovely to have you. If you've stayed the whole time, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to catching up next week. Please feel free to put in the comments how your week's been. And I might end this with just a few little photos of some mushrooms I found. Thanks for joining me. Bye.